What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show with some breaking news here on a Saturday. Yes, the Eagles made another draft pick, but most importantly, they've made a trade. AndreSwift, we called this one, baby. He is coming to Philadelphia. The Eagles are just piling in either former Georgia Bulldogs or guys who were just Georgia Bulldogs and drafting them in here. They get their star running back to go with what is a very interesting running back depth chart. Let's give you the details. Schefter with a tweet first. Here it is. Trade. After using their top pick on Jahmyr Gibbs, the Lions are trading AndreSwift to the Philadelphia Eagles per sources. The trade is a homecoming for Swift. Is from Philadelphia, went to high school there in St. Joseph's Prep before attending, of course, Georgia. End quote. There you go. This was expected, at least from a Swift perspective. You knew that the Lions were shopping AndreSwift. They've been saying that all offseason. For whatever reason, they've never been big fans. Dave Campbell never really used him. I mean, it's always been a problem for AndreSwift. My girlfriend had him in our fantasy football league and was so mad that Jamal Williams got all of the carries. They signed David Montgomery. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. This was expected. Now, Philadelphia, I was very curious to see what they were going to do. And obviously, you saw some of the top running backs. The UCLA running back went off the board. A. Shane from Texas A&M went off the board. Kendry Miller went off the board. You kind of went, okay, the running backs that you could have drafted by not getting Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs are all gone. This seems to be the best option, and sure enough, it is. Now, the compensation is even better. We'll look at that here in just 1 second. First, though, quickly, I do want to mention pre-orders for the Philly hat. Obviously, if you haven't seen this yet, we are running out of the green ones. Only have about 10 left of these for our first pre-order. Still have about 20 left of the black ones. So if you want to pick up the green, you better hurry up here. If not, there will be some extra black ones, but the pre-orders are now. Go to thephillyhat.com. Obviously, link down below in the description box. The 3D puff print, it looks fantastic. And we're going to ship these out hopefully first or second week of May. But green is almost out. Pick them up. Link down below. Okay, compensation. Here's your Adam Schefter tweet. Quote, Eagles get running back AndreSwift and a 7th-round draft pick, number 249, towards the end of the draft. The Lions get a 4th-rounder in 2025. That's not even next year. 2025. I'll be almost 30 by the time we get to 2025. Well, 29, but still. And then a 7th-round draft pick, the Eagles, 219. So really, they swap 7s, we get Swift, and they get a 4th in 2025. This is massive. Thumbs up for Howie Roseman having the draft of the century. Not even offseason of the century, draft of the century. Maybe the draft of the past 2 years in terms of Philadelphia. Think about the offseason they had last year, the draft they had last year. Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. Now, Swift is a little interesting. Before you jump to the idea that, we only had 99 carries this past year, grossly underutilized. This is a running back who can get a ton of yards per attempt and an insane amount of yards after contact. He was only ever had, 114 rushing or carries in 2020. 151 was his peak back in 2021. He had 5 touchdowns as well. And then in 2022, only 99 carries, and he was not injured. He was healthy and good to go for the majority of the games. They simply just didn't really use him. So here you have another back to pair with what is going to be a fascinating backfield that includes Kenny Gainwell, most likely year 1. Then you have Swift, Rashard Penny, Boston Scott, Trey Sermon. Like what's the plan here? It seems like they are foolproof now at running back to where if, Gainwell doesn't work out too well, you have Swift and Penny. If Penny does not become that short yardage, big physical back that you were hoping that he would be, you have AndreSwift, who's also big and physical. It's unbelievable. It truly is unbelievable what Philadelphia has been able to do in terms of the draft so far. I think that it is absolutely incredible. Thumbs up for this. And they've done everything now. Like, what more could you ask for? We're going to get to the Kelee Ringo pick here in a second. They got their defensive tackle. They got their pass rusher in terms of Nolan Smith. They got their offensive lineman. They got their safety. Now they have their running back. And as we're about to look at, they got Kelee Ringo. Is this the best 2 days to be an Eagle fan in recent draft history? I think 100% yes. Now, they also drafted Kelee Ringo. This was one of their picks. They traded up to go ahead and grab him. And this is obviously an option that we had talked about as maybe a pick at 30 overall way back when. Now, Ringo since has fallen. He had an incredible combine, ran in the 4.3s in terms of speed, but his cover skills are a little bit suspect. And you see the tweet here from Brandon D. He's only 20 years old. He's 6'2", 207. I mean, he has the true number 1 cornerback physical size that you want to have. 19 passes defended, 4 picks at Georgia. They needed a young stud at cornerback. Ringo fits the bill. But Ringo comes in as a project. Not necessarily a 7th-round project like you would if you got a cornerback later on, but a project that doesn't need to start year 1. He won't. But he can fall in line behind Zach McPherson, learn from Darius Slay, obviously learn from James Bradbury, and hopefully you got your cornerback of the future in the middle of the draft for virtually nothing. The trade-up didn't cost much either. So this is I mean, I tweeted I wanted him maybe in the second round, maybe the third round. Shows you how much I know, how dumb I am. I mean, this is incredible. They were able to go ahead and get Kelee Ringo, adding to the Georgia Bulldogs. They now have, 7 dogs on the team? Is it 6? You got to think about Davis and Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. And then obviously they went ahead and got Kelee Ringo and AndreSwift. And do they have a dog on there already? I don't know. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Here is the current updated picks that we're looking at right now. I believe this is up to date, but obviously it could change by the time you watch this because the draft is still happening right now. Obviously, they have the 6th round draft pick from the Houston Texans. Then they have the 7th round pick from the Texans through Minnesota in the Rager trade. Thank you, Jalen Rager. And then the 7th 230 from the Texans, and then the 7th 248 overall, because obviously Houston traded up in the bottom of the 2nd round in order to get those. So they still have, as of right now, 4 more picks. Now, Howie can wheel and deal and trade, but it is a very good day to be an Eagle. It makes you wonder, how do you stop Philadelphia? Truly, what's your plan? Because they're going to rush the passer, and they're going to get a lot of interceptions with the pass rush and the combination of elite cornerbacks on the outside. Okay. Then, on offense, they have the number 1 offensive line still in the National Football League, and Jeff Stoutland's going to hopefully work out with Tyler Steen in terms of making him ready to compete with Cam Jurgens for the right guard spot. But then you also have 4 running backs, if you want to go ahead and include Trey Sermon, because Nick Sirianni at least was high on him at the owners' meetings a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago. So you have 5 running backs that you can mix in there. You have 2 elite wide receivers. You have an elite tight end. You're bringing in Olamide Zaccheaus, who's a really good slot player. You have a revenge Torquez Watkins. Oh, and the guy who could have been the MVP last year and outdueled Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl. What's the plan? I am curious defensively how Sean Desai is going to utilize all these players. Are they going to try to run more of a Georgia-based defense? Remember, they interviewed the Georgia defensive coordinator for a job just a couple of months ago, and so maybe they were looking to already kind of be more like Georgia, but they have the Georgia talent in order to do so, both defensively, but now offensively with the addition of AndreSwift. So, thumbs up. Again, what else do you want me to say? I mean, we can pick and choose each player. Was Steen the right person? Well, is Sidney Brown going to be that good in coverage? Because Kelee Ringo a little too raw. But the fact they just traded for AndreSwift, who is healthy and is going to be a beast of a running back running behind that offensive line, any running back could. I think you and I could get 20, 30 yards on 10 carries, average 3 yards per rush. But either way, big shout out to Howie Roseman for having the draft of a lifetime, and they still have some options to get some extra depth guys here in the 6th and 7th round. So make sure you subscribe. Plenty of updates. I mean, I'm trying to be the first person to have this here because it happened as I was watching the draft. Boom, in here, filming, giving instant reactions. So thumbs up and subscribe for that. And remember, the green Philly hats, we are almost done. We're almost out of them. I'm telling you, the quality in person, it's really, really good. I wish it would come up on the screen how nice that actually turned out. But only have 30 of each, and these are almost sold out. You get the black ones as well. Pick up the hats you're going to want to rep after Philadelphia had this incredible offseason. PhillyHats.com. Link will be down below in the description box. I'm pumped. I know you are. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.